Hey everyone, I am Gary the Elysiums, and I'm here with my new CD purchases, part 45. Now, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, anything to help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Even share my videos if you'd like. Go ahead. So it's actually the beginning of July. What is it? July 8th. And it is like ridiculously hot out. I'm just sitting here with fans on and the air conditioner, and I hate the heat. I now realize that I like winter much more. The heat has just been unbearable this summer so far. I've just been like 2 showers a day, just non-stop sweating. I hate it. Anyway, I got this stack here of new purchases, a nice variety, a new band for me to check out, and yeah, we're all over the place. We got metal, we got rock, we got country, folk, we got a little bit of everything. All right, up first, this is Sleep Token with Sundowning. Sleep Token, I am fairly new to. I've heard of them. I never really listened to them. I did listen to one album. I didn't really care for it that much, so I need to listen to a little more of them and find out what's going on, because I got a lot here. This Place Will Become Your Tomb by Sleep Token. They like digipacks. So know what's bad about these CDs? Not only are they digipacks, but then they put the names, the titles on the spine upside down. So it's bad enough you got to give me a digipack, but you got to do that too. Like, they're my 2 pet peeves. This one here, I forget the name of it, because there was a sticker on there that said it. I'm sure someone will tell me what it's called. This is the 2023 release from Sleep Token. Cool cover there, but they don't even, I mean, that's what the spine looks like. It's just symbols. So I actually forget what this one's called, unfortunately. Like I said, I am very new to this band, so I'm going to give them a listen and see what I think. This is the one I listened to already in the car on the ride home, and I wasn't a big fan of it. This is Even in Arcadia. They finally used the jewel case. This is their newest release. This is 2025 on RCA Records. It looks like the first major label, because these are released on a label called Spine Farm, which I'm unfamiliar with. So yeah, I got 4 Sleep Token. I guess that's their whole discography so far. I'm not sure. Next up, now I leave politics out of my channel. I don't, if artists like to talk politics, I kind of ignore them and I just focus on their music. It doesn't deter me from listening to an artist. I say this because I got Bruce Springsteen with Lost and Found. Basically, it's selections from the Lost albums, which is that huge box set that Bruce put out of all his basically Lost albums, studio albums that weren't actually released from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I'm probably not going to get the box set just because of how expensive it is, unless I find it eventually for a cheap price, probably when it's used. Again, another digipack. Got a lot of digipacks here. 20 tracks on here. As far as box sets go, the Tracks box set that Springsteen released was really good. And 18 tracks, which was like the selections from that, was amazing. So I'm hoping this would be close to the same. And I'm curious to hear some of the songs that are, unreleased from the early 80s and 70s that are on this. Next up is the newest by Smashing Pumpkins. I thought this was an EP that they was coming out with, but it's actually a full album. This is Aguri Morime. Again, wouldn't even know what this was until you saw that. Nothing on there, no booklet, just a flimsy digipack. I mean, even the spine is hard to read. Probably hard in this video. But yeah, newest album from Smashing Pumpkins. I haven't listened yet, so I'm curious to see what it sounds like. Yeah, you still got, it's just a band. I mean, James Iha's on there and Jimmy Chamberlain, and obviously Billy Corgan. All right, and then we have the 2024 remix of Queen 1. This sounds pretty good. It's nice and crisp. I just thought it was odd that they did a remix of just the first Queen album, but not the other albums, at least Queen 2. But, being a huge Queen fan that I am, especially of the first 3 Queen albums, I just figured, why not? Pick it up, check it out. We got a new booklet in there. Basically just lyrics, nothing new. Just tells you the credits and the mix and anything like that. But, a couple cool pictures, obviously. But no essay or anything like that on them. Next up is a band I actually really like, and I feel like they're underrated. I guess I would call them butt rock, but they are heavy. It's Skillet with Revolution. They are a Christian rock band, but they don't really... I wouldn't call them Christian rock. It's a rock album that are Christians. They do have some quotes and Bible passage they will use as lyrics and different things like that, but they're not even like as blatant as Striper. But I like them. I think they're a really good band. When they first came out, I didn't really pay much attention to them. When the single Monster came out, I thought it was a pretty good song, so I do listen to Skillet, and this newest album did not disappoint. It's a really good album. The first, not the first song, because the first song, Showtime, but the second 2 tracks after that, Unpopular and All That Matters, were very strong. Pretty good album. Next up, we got the newest from Motorhead. This is the Manicore tapes. So basically, this is the 1975 demo that Motorhead recorded, their first recordings, before they even did their debut album. There's a cool picture of the guys. Obviously Lemmy's there. Filthy Phil. Eddie Clark on guitar. So yeah, there is, so you got an instrumental intro, which is basically just a little bit of feedback and the guys talking. Leaving Here, that's the cover. I forget who was the original that did Leaving Here. I know the Who kind of made it popular. Vibrator, Help Keep Us on the Road, The Watcher, Motorhead. And then an instrumental version of Witch Doctor, instrumental version of Iron Horse / Born to Lose, an alternate take of Leaving Here, an alternate take of Vibrator, and an alternate take of The Watcher. So obviously, we love that there's stuff from Motorhead still coming out. It's crazy. I think it's been almost 10 years since we lost Lemmy, which is crazy that it went by so quick. Next up is a newer band that I've been getting into, Spirit Box with Tsunami C. Kind of keeping a close to like new metal sound to them, but a different type of metal. Keeping that alive. This case is like a digipack, but it's perfectly square but taller, and then you got more digi stuff inside. I don't know, do jewel cases really cost that much? All right, next up, I don't know what happened to my version of this, so I had to rebuy it because I saw it at a store for cheap and I was like, I have that, but I haven't seen it. So I checked in Discogs, where I always mention and I catalog everything I own, and it wasn't in there, so I picked up another copy of it. Rob Zombie, American Made Music to Strip By. Basically, it's just a remix of Hellbilly Deluxe. Features all tracks from Hellbilly Deluxe, but different mixes, different remixes of every song on there. It's okay. I mean, when it came out, it was cool because you're young and you got like a naked girl in there, a naked girl in the back. Turns out it's Sherry Moon Zombie's wife. I mean, the artwork's really cool. Play off the classic, Rat Fink artwork from, the old drag racings. So, pretty cool stuff. But then again, I'm a completist. Next up, In Flames, Soundtrack to Your Escape. So this is the original cover. It is a slip cover because it's a CD, DVD combo. It flips up to have the DVD there, and you get an extra picture of the band. So the DVD features video clips of The Quiet Place, The Touch of Red, and then 2 live tracks of Wacken 2003. And the end is the making of Soundtrack to Your Life. I'm sorry, Soundtrack to Your Escape. I know this was the they were on Ozfest. Do I want to say 2004 or do I want to say 2005? Either way, they were on an on an Ozfest, and this was the one they were promoting. I remember. I can't remember exactly which one I was at, but I remember them promoting this album, and for some reason I didn't own it. I have a lot of stuff from In Flames. I'm missing a few, but glad to finally have this in my collection. Next up, another one. Glad to have my collection. This is Great White with Elation. This does not feature Jack Russell, the original singer. So the new singer on this one, because this was released in 2012, I cannot pronounce his last name, because I don't know if it's like two I's or an I and an L. I should really know this. Terry Laus, Laus. Sorry if you're watching, which I hope you are, but you most likely aren't, Terry. Sorry that I butchered your last name. Cool album. It has, touches of that 80s sound. Doesn't really sound anything like, Once Bitten or Twice Shy or even Hooked. Very different sounding to it, but overall, a really good album. Like I said, 2012 release. You gotta look at this as like a different band. Don't expect to hear Jack Russell's Great White on that. Alright, then we're switching up a little different with some folk here. I saw this in a thrift store, and I've never saw it before, and I know this is kind of, whenever I see these 60s albums that are, studio albums and not actually seeing the compilations or anything, I pick them up. So this is a 65 release, I believe. Yeah, 1965 of Peter, Paul, and Mary's See What Tomorrow Brings. Very different from the last CD, In Flames. Like I said, basic CD, but kind of hard to come upon. It's cool. It's actually produced by Albert Grossman, who was Bob Dylan's manager. Nothing really stands out to me on here. Just the basic folk, traditional probably folk songs, but no covers or anything like they were known for. But whenever I see something like this, and I'm like, that's rare. I don't really see that too often. I gotta have it for my collection. I do have the debut album from Peter, Paul, and Mary. And I know I have another album. I can't think which one it is off the top of my head. And I have a greatest hits. So I will throw them on from time to time again, especially when you just want to relax. Now we're going over to country with Willie Nelson, with Nelson Sings Christopherson, obviously. Willie Nelson covering 9 tracks on this CD from Chris Christopherson. Another rare one to find in the wild. This is at a thrift store. Just basic CD. Originally a 1979 release. This is another guy who has so many releases throughout the 70s and 80s that you don't really see his studio albums too often. And when you do, you just got to pick them up, because I'm a huge Willie Nelson fan. But everyone really goes after Stardust or Redhead Stranger. And he's got so many different compilations, greatest hit stuff. That's what everyone goes for. So when I see these, I'm happy and excited to pick them up. Next one I was a little hesitant on because I'm not really a fan of him. I think he has one amazing song, which is Careless Whisper, but it's got Queen on it, and I know this is from the Freddie Mercury tribute concert, and I obviously was like, I love Queen, so I had to pick it up. So it's George Michael and Queen with Lisa Stansfield. Just 6 tracks on here, so a little EP. Somebody to Love, Killer, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, which is the Temptations cover. These Are the Days of Our Lives, that one is with Lisa Stansfield. Calling You, and then it ends with Dear Friends, which is just I think it's an instrumental, honestly, performed by just Queen. So obviously, being the Queen fan that I am, this is something that I had to pick up because technically it is a Queen album. All right, 1993 release from these 80 glam sleaze metal artists. Enough's Enough. They were hard rock. They kind of got lumped into the hair metal stuff. So this one is called Animals with Human Intelligence. As you see, there's only 3 members there. I believe the drummer either left or was kicked out of the band. That's a cool picture. I forget, but he's not even named on this. Let me see. Yeah, so Derek Frigo, the lead guitar, Donnie Vita singer, and obviously Chips Enough. Vic Fox actually plays drums on this. And Sonny's Enough was his Chip's dog. Features on These Days doing the barks. Alright, then we got a solo album from Sebastian Bach called Angel Down. I remember when this came out in 2008. Was it 2008? 2007. I'd end up not buying it just because, I don't know, I was in this, you know, the same music, but at that time I felt like a lot of the 80s hair metal stuff was a little, I don't want to say washed up, but they were still trying to like get their name out there. And at the time I wasn't like fully into like something solo like this, even though Bach's got a, you know, a fantastic voice. But I got it now. And what's cool about this, which I didn't know until I picked it up, is there's 3 songs featuring Axl Rose. Again, you get a 2007 Axl Rose, so he's not quite Mickey Mouse yet, but he's not prime 1987 Axl Rose. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, 2 more left. We got this one. I know I used to have this. Again, I couldn't see it in my Discogs, so I picked it up again. In This Moment, this is, I always forget the name of this, Rise of the Blood Legion, Greatest Hits Volume 1 CD and DVD combo. It's basically a greatest hits with the DVD of, you know, music videos to follow it. Nothing special in here. Unfortunately, no pictures of Maria Brink. You know, just lyrics and stuff in the booklet. And then last but not least, we have Black Label Society with The Song Remains Not the Same. It's a compilation with some acoustic stuff on there, some covers, some originals. Some of the covers on here. He does Junior's Eyes from Black Sabbath, which was on Never Say Die, which is pretty cool. Helpless from Neil Young. Bridge Over Troubled Water, obviously from Simon & Garfunkel. Can't Find My Way Home, which was done by Blind Faith. And the first Noel, so we even get a Christmas song from Zach. Yeah. So everyone, that is my newest CD purchases. Thank you for watching, and I will check you in the next video. Take care.